Yo, what is poppin', my guys? It is your boy Ashley, and today we are bringing you our week 3 game of the IBL. Now, this week we are playing Turk, the coach of the Chicago Cubchoos. Great logo, by the way. You'll see it on the thumb. You should definitely. I don't know if I've told you this, Turk. I'm a big fan of your logo. You guys should definitely go check his channel out. I am actually very curious to see his side of this battle as well. I will tell you guys this. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is by far the best battle we've had in the IBL this season. Well, I guess ever, technically, because this is our first season. So I'm super excited to bring this battle to you guys. And I feel like Turk will be as well. I know that I'm sure he thinks it was a good battle. I think we both played very well, and we're just gonna hop right into it. As you can see, he's one of those coaches that also has a smaller sort of team. So he's bringing the Rotom Wash, the Metagross, the Braviary, Manaphy, Megalopunny, and the Silvally. Not Silvally. I shouldn't be allowed to talk to people in public without adult supervision. That's a Sylveon, in case you didn't know. So basically, just to give you a breakdown of our sets right here, we have our Arcanine. I'll start off with Arcanine. I just talk about them. I'm not gonna go in order of it. If you want to order, go somewhere else. This Arcanine's got Rocky Helmet. It's got Intimidate. It's got a lot of defensive bulk investment, as well as a little bit of a special bulk investment. It's running an Impish Nature. This is running Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, Morning Sun, and Will-O-Wisp. So this is one of those guys that's going to be laying off Will-O-Wisp, trying to get some of that sweet chip damage off. Using Extreme Speed to pick things off late game, Morning Sun to keep my health up, and the Rocky Helmet with Intimidate just to check the Mega Lopunny. If you look at my team, nothing really wants to switch into a Mega Lopunny. I mean, there's some things that can with its with moves, but it can't be choice locked into anything. So it always the combination of return and high jump kick will pretty much 2-hit KO everything on my team. So except for this Arcanine. This Arcanine, I think it's a 3-hit KO or something like that. So if I can switch in the Arcanine and then Morning Sun on the switch, that'd be very nice. Just got to watch out for that Manaphy and the Rotom Wash. We also have our Mega Gallade. This boy is pretty bulky, pretty speedy. It is a Jolly Nature this week. Just trying to outspeed pretty much anything we can. I know we can't outspeed that Mega Lopunny, but barring Scarfs, we should outspeed everything else on his team. So we also have here, sorry, had something caught in my throat. But it's running Psycho Cut, Knockoff, Poison Jab, and Swords Dance. I mean, you can look at his team and see that I do not need Fighting Stab this week. Psycho Cut's going to do a lot of damage to everything except for that Metagross, which gets hit very hard by Knockoff. That Sylveon can take a Psycho Cut pretty well. It does about 60%. Like a medium roll would be like 60. But that Poison Jab absolutely decimates it. So really the only thing that really wants to be coming in trying to take hits on this is a defensive Rotom. And I don't know. I like Mega Gallade's matchup a lot on this game. So let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We have our Cradily with leftovers. It's got Storm Drain, obviously. It says Giga Drain, Toxic, Recover, and Rocks. This is my Rock Setter this week, as well as one of my Manaphy checks. That's actually super funny that I just remember this Pokemon has Storm Drain. I mean, I went through this whole battle and didn't once think about Storm Drain. We'll talk about why that's important later. But great. I think it's a great mon. It's definitely going to help Giga Drain on that. It'll at least scare the Rotom out with Giga Drain. And if worst comes to worst and I need to handle up on this Manaphy and he tries to stay in, he's got something like the Ice Beam or, etc. that can maybe hit me, we can go ahead and get some of that damage back with the Giga Drain and do a pretty hefty chunk to this Manaphy, as well as being able to Toxic everything with the Metagross that might want to switch in. I know the Lopunny is definitely something that might want to switch in, and having it worn down by Toxic damage will be great for getting it into E-Speed range by my Arcanine, but this Cradily was mainly here to get rocks up and help pivot in on things like that Rotom Wash. We also got our Goodra. This is an Assault Vest Pokemon, and another Pokemon that's going to be one of our main answers to this Rotom Wash. It's Gooey, because if we take a hit, we will be slowing down something. That's very, very awesome for the Mega Lopunny. It's really great for the Braviary. It's fantastic for the Metagross because you slow all those things down and they're a lot easier taken on by things on my team. For example, even if he knocks out my Goodra, if he's at -1, I can freely bring in my Mega Gallade in on the Lopunny and get off a big hit on pretty much whatever I want to. So, nice little Goodra set. It's got Draco Meteor to, really hit everything super hard. If that God, I keep calling it Sylvally. If that Sylveon isn't a projected switch in, or if I've already taken it down. It's also going to be nice to hit that Sylveon with the Sludge Wave. It is very specially bulky, but on the lower percents, this could easily be a nice way to finish it off unexpectedly, because we will outspeed. We do have, I think, 20 in speed to be able to outspeed a couple of the key things on his team. Flamethrower is obviously for the Metagross, and Thunderbolt hits the Braviary. So this Goodra and the Manaphy. So it is absolutely fantastic for handling his team, just in general. Just a nice little bulky pivot. We also have, let's see, I've talked about Cradily, I've talked about Arcanine, I've talked about, okay, I'll talk about Celesteela because I want to save Vikavolt for last. We have Celesteela, it's got leftovers, obviously Beast Boost. I've got pretty much investment in every single spread. Quiet Nature, it's got Heavy Slam because that does a lot more to the Sylveon than a Flash Cannon would, and that's really the only thing we need the Steel Stab for. We have Flamethrower, obviously, for the Metagross. We have Giga Drain for the Manaphy and the Rotom Wash. And we have Air Slash for the Lopunny. Now, Braviary doesn't get hit particularly hard by anything on the Celesteela set, but Heavy Slam will do about 40 to 50% if it's not, getting up a bulk up or something. But I feel like he might bring Scarf, just because Scarf is going to be able to really put a dent in my team. If I Scarf anything, it's probably still going to outspeed it, and that'll be a great check to my Mega Gallade. Like, if he ever goes directly Braviary on this Mega Gallade, I'll pretty much know for a fact that it's Scarf and be a little bit scared. So Celesteela set is really just our middle ground attacker. It kind of hits everything. And then finally, we have the one, the only, the Vikavolt. So this Vikavolt was EV'd to outspeed a Mega Lopunny after an Agility. We're running Agility, we're running Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and Energy Ball. So we're running leftovers just to get a little bit more bulk into us. But the main idea for this is that I can take any one hit from the Rotom, I can take any one hit from the Manaphy, except maybe an Ice Beam, but it has to be like super invested or possibly even a Z move. I can take one of any move from Lopunny, and I can take one of any move from Sylveon. So my main plan for this whole game is to chip down his team, sack off Amon, preferably Cradily. Cradily was always my designated sack, just because, as you can tell by the moveset and by my feel. I love how it worked in this game. I love how it operated. I think it was a great bring. But out of all the team members, it was definitely the most expendable. It couldn't actually take down anything on its team on its own. Anything that it could Toxic, it could install out. And anything it could Giga Drain had no reason to stay in on it. So it just didn't serve as much of a purpose. So my plan was always to play the chip game, and then once Cradily gets sacked, once I find the right time to sack Cradily, get in Vikavolt, set up the Agility, and sweep through, because I'm a little bit worried about an Assault Vest Metagross, but everything on his team will drop to either Thunderbolt or Energy Ball at around 50%. I really can't think of anything that would live. It would definitely tear through this team. That's the goal. That's the goal, to get in Vikavolt. That's the goal. All we have to do is get in on any of these mons and get an Agility up. And Thunderbolt will take down everything, as well as, even if he does a great job of preserving that Rotom Wash, it will absolutely drop to an Energy Ball. We have a massive special attack. So, without further ado, we are just going to hop right into the game. I just finished playing it a couple of minutes ago, so it's not going to be it's not going to be hard for me to remember what happened, because I literally just did. I'm going to do this real quick where I pause, let it catch up on the OBS. Alright, and then I'll start it again, and hopefully it won't lag as much. So we go right here into our Cradily to start as he goes into his Rotom. So he is going to Volt Switch. He can't really pump or anything on me because I have the Storm Drain, and I'm just going to get up my rocks. It seems like the best opportunity to get up rocks. I really couldn't find another time. in my mind to get Cradillion on anything for free. Again, I can go in on that Rotom because that Volt Switch did nothing and it can't Hydro Pump, but it's just the same loop. If I didn't get him up now, I'd be getting him up in the same way later on in the game, and there was no reason not to get him up now. I guess he was not staying in. There was no reason to Giga Drain. Now I don't want to sack off the Cradillion yet. I have not done the chip that I need, so I'm gonna go right into the low punny counter, which is the Arcanine, my boy Boom. Which, fun fact, I named after one of my old roommate's dogs because I love that dog. Get the Intimidate off as he is going to Mega Evolve. I believe throw off a High Jump Kick. Now, this High Jump Kick is going to do a lot of damage, but we are going to be able to live 2. And there's always the chance that he'll miss one as well. So as you'll see, he's going to fire off the High Jump Kick. He's going to do about 40%, 45%, and he's going to see that I am Rocky Helmet. So now he knows that with a little bit more Rocky Helmet, I can definitely take him out with a Flare Blitz or something, and he is just going to bounce right back into Rotom Wash. Well, predicting him to switch, I am actually going to double out myself right into Gucci Swagoo, which is the Goodra. So this is another thing that walls the Rotom. I felt like it was my best mid-ground play. There's a lot of things he could have done to try and take advantage of that Cradillion, and if he decided to High Jump Kick again, I mean, I need Cradillion to sack to get in the Vikavolt with the plan that I'm going with. I have to keep it. I can't sack it off so early in the game. So here I'm going to try and predict the Sylveon and go for the Sludge Wave, but he makes a good scout for that and goes hard Metagross. Now, I don't want to reveal Flamethrower here yet, because I do have a pretty safe switch in into this Celesteela. I want to start putting a little bit of offensive pressure onto him. As you're going to see, he's actually just going to double straight out into his Rotom. So that was a really good double on his part. He's reading my plays pretty well at this point, but no matter. As I said, I have 2 very, very good dedicated switch-ins to Rotom, and I go right into Dilly Dally to try and lure back in this low punny again, because he's shown me what he wants to switch in on each of those mons. So now I can choose what I want to do. If I want to try and break by setting up on the Metagross, I can go Goodra, and if I want to try and break setting up on the low punny, I go Cradillion. So we do have a little plan here. I wanted to lure back out the low punny so I could switch back into my Arcanine and get another Intimidate off, get that Rocky Helmet damage, because I do need this low punny to be lower. I need him to be low enough to where I can knock it out with a Thunderbolt easily. I mean, I think it drops to a Thunderbolt anyway, but again, just playing it safe, trying to get as much chip on this low punny as possible. And here, I'm going to go ahead and hit Morning Sun, although he just returns. I hit Morning Sun hoping he might want to switch out again. But as you can see, he can easily take me out from that range. He is going to take more Rocky Helmet damage and be at about half, as I am just going to go right into my Mega Gallade. I know I can live a hit, and I know I take him out in return. I'm fine risking the Gallade because I don't think that he wants to give up his low punny this early. I feel like it's a very easy switch for him because he does have the Sylveon in the back, and as you'll see, he is going to go right out to that. So here, I'm not playing any prediction games. Poison Jab was a roll to knock out this low punny, so if he decided to stay in and go off with the hit, I didn't want to get caught with my pants down. I just decided to go for the Psycho Cut, and as you'll see, this is going to do a huge chunk of damage to this Sylveon. As I said, it does about 60% mid-roll, so easily seeing that. Now, I was a little scared he was Scarf, but I decided that I was just going to go ahead and Poison Jab. I don't think he would have risked all that damage on it if it was Scarf, because it would have been a nice little win con, and I don't think he would have brought Scarf because I do have a Celesteela. So he goes right back out to his Rotom, which this mon I'm believing more and more to be Scarfed. So there is the possibility that I have Leaf Blade, so he wouldn't bring this in unless he outsped me. So I'm just going to switch right here into my Goodra, trying to get him to bring this Metagross in, because if I can get rid of this Metagross, I can have a lot easier time sweeping with this Vikavolt, especially because the Assault Vest is something that Metagross really, really likes to pack with that 130 defense. So he is going to go with the Will-O-Wisp, and the fact that he just hard switches here instead of Volt switching pretty much confirms to me that he is Scarf, and I am just going to fire off the Flamethrower here. No, I'm sorry, I fired off the Thunderbolt. I was just being safe. I thought he might switch into the Manaphy or something like that, predicting the Flamethrower, so I decided to make a little mid-ground play. It doesn't really matter because now I'm going to fire off the Flamethrower. Now, I know this isn't going to knock him out because he is invested, but I'm actually going to pause right here. I know this isn't going to knock him out because he is obviously wearing the Assault Vest, but because he is Assault Vest, my Celesteela did not knock him out with Flamethrower from the range it was at either, and I did not want to take more than one hit from this Metagross. So I decide that I am going to get off a Flamethrower with my Goodra. I live in Ice Punch. I did calc it with an Adamant, Max Attack. I live in Ice Punch. I don't live it very highly, and I think there was a chance that I went down to the burn, but as you're going to see, it doesn't matter because he gets the critical hit and knocks out my Goodra. So now I definitely, and the Gooey doesn't even matter because he's clear body. So now I definitely have to go into Celesteela here. No, I'm sorry. I go right here into my Gallade because a knockoff will kill. If he switches out, I'll be able to knock it off. But I had to go into something here that was going to kill this Metagross because I now no longer have a lure for it. He is going to Bullet Punch, and that is going to do a little bit of damage. Not too much. I'm still out of range of a Lopunny. I'm fairly certain. I think it's a roll now, but it's not a roll that's in his favor. As you'll see, he was rocking the Assault Vest there, as proved by the damage from the Goodra, and now he is going to go right out into Lopunny. I really don't have a fantastic switch into this, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to switch, and I'm going to go right into my Celesteela to tank a return, because I know he's going to go for a return. A high jump kick definitely doesn't take me out, but a return is a roll too, so he has no choice but to go for it there, because if I stay in, he absolutely loses his Lopunny. And with the leftovers, that is going to put me safely out of range of his high jump kick, so he is going to go ahead and withdraw here. I think I just fire off the Heavy Slam because I don't know what he's going to switch into, but Heavy Slam was my best option for hitting pretty much anything that he wanted to go into. So I'm going to hit the Heavy Slam off on this Manaphy, and it is going to do a decent chunk of damage. Not a ton. I mean, it's not effective as you can see, but the important thing is that we're getting our leftovers regeneration back and getting our health up. So here I have no reason not to go for the Giga Drain. If he decides he wants to throw off a Z Rain Dance, I would much rather stay in and get a bunch of damage off on him than let him kind of gain that power in the rain. And he does go for the Z move here, but it is not Z. It's not Z Rain Dance. It is actually Z, I assume, Surf, because it is the Hydro Vortex, and it's going to come out on this Celesteela. Now, as I said, I do have a little bit of special defense investment as well as some health investment, so I'm going to chew that hit fairly well, especially with this Giga Drain recovery. We're going to do over half of its remaining health to the Manaphy and get all the way back up to 86. Actually more with leftovers, so we eat that hit super well, really only taking overall, because of the transaction, we really only take about 30-40% from that Z move. So he's going to Surf here, which is going to bring us down into the red, but we are able to get off a Giga Drain and take care of this Manaphy, which is going to give us a little bit more health as well as a little bit more leftovers recovery. So that is absolutely fantastic in my book. It is unfortunate that the Celesteela is as low as it is, because now a Scarf Braviary could definitely put in a little bit of work, but if we go with our plan and we get our Vikavolt set up, it really shouldn't matter. So the Metagross is gone, which is the most important thing for letting my Vikavolt sweep. So now I am looking for an opportunity to sack off Cradilly, and here's where it is. We get to go Cradilly right here onto the Rotom. He is going to Volt Switch out into his Lopunny. I know it for a fact he's going to do it. So our best bet here is to let him kill us, because if he doesn't have Rocks Up or anything like that, we'll come into our Vikavolt, we'll hit Agility, we'll outspeed this Lopunny. All this Lopunny has to do is hit a high jump kick, right? Well, yeah. That's where the issue comes in. He goes for high jump kick, and he misses. And Lopunny dies. So my Cradilly sack did not work. So now we definitely have the Pokemon advantage, but he can go right out here into his Braviary, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, I hope this is Scarf. He's been preserving it because it's Scarf, and he's Substitute. So now this game just got so much harder, because now that we've let him get the sub up, he has the opportunity to set up a bulk up, which you know he's going to go for. It's obviously, if you're running a sub Braviary set, you have bulk up. He's going to go for the bulk up. So Heavy Slam is really the only move we have that 100% for sure breaks the sub after a bulk up. So we just have to hope that he doesn't knock us out here. We do have some defense investment. We get the leftovers recovery. We just have to hope that he doesn't knock us out here and we break the sub. So he is going to go right for the Brave Bird. And you're going to see he is going to live on 5%. I'll say we're going to live on 5%. So we do the Heavy Slam. We break the sub. So this is nice. Now he's either forced, so we're just going to keep hitting Heavy Slam, right? He's either forced to attack us or forced to get a sub up, right? So even at +1, Vikavolt can live a Brave Bird. It's a roll. I'm sorry. We're not trying to, yeah, we can live a Brave Bird. So my plan here is to go into Dilly Dally on his force. He's forced to take out the Celesteela, right? But he's not. He goes for the bulk up. Had he attacked there and knocked out my Cradilly, I would have gone Vikavolt. We could have lived a +1 Brave Bird, hit the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt, and gotten our momentum up, or, you know, done something. But at this point, it's over. There's nothing I can do. He's going to get the free sub up because of the stupid Cradilly. And at this point, I went into Vikavolt hoping he would just Brave Bird knock me out and recoil down. I was just hoping, at this point, I was just hoping he didn't have Roost, and then I could sack off my more healthy Mons to get him down low enough to where I could try and get him with Gallade or something like that. There really was no win con at this point. This Braviary set is just going to, yeah, I mean, you know, there's 2 minutes left, but I feel very comfortable saying this Braviary set is just going to take us down. There's not a whole lot we can do. He is carrying Roost. He's Brave Bird, Sub, Roost, Bulk Up. A great set. He said it was just a little last-minute set thrown on, but it absolutely, I mean, it absolutely wrecked my team in the end. I didn't have anything that could intimidate, and even if I did, he had the Sub. I just didn't have a way to deal with it when it got down to it at the end, which is super unfortunate, because had he just hit the high jump kick, we discussed this after the game, and we ran some calcs, and if he had hit that high jump kick, it would have knocked out my Cradilly. Vikavolt would have come in, taken 80% maximum from the high jump kick. Oh no, I'm sorry, from the return, because the high jump kick would have done like 50, but it would have done 80% max from the return. We would have gotten our agility up. We would have outsped. He did not have a priority move on the Lopunny. We would have outsped, knocked out Lopunny. We would have outsped the Choice Scarf Rotom, which was Choice Scarf. He did cheer with me. We would have outsped the Choice Scarf Rotom, knocked it out. And then we would have outsped the Braviary and knocked it out with a Thunderbolt. It did not live ever. So, we're going to lose 2-0 this week, which is super unfortunate. It was really demoralizing when it happened. As soon as he set the sub up, I just felt my heart drop through the floor, because I was really, really proud this week of the prep, of the way that we played, of everything we did. Like, we had our plan, we played for it. I scouted very well. I scouted the threats. I used his switching to my advantage in order to try and goad him into going to certain Pokemon so that I could set up my threats and chip down the things that oppose them. And he missed the high jump kick, and everything went out the window, and we lost still. A great game to Turk, you know. It's the game we play, and I'm definitely, like, I've lost on hacks before. Like, it's not anything, you know, new to me. But I've never lost quite like this. This was new. I've never hoped an opponent hit a high jump kick and then they missed to lose me the game. That's that's crazy, you know. That just doesn't happen. But again, great game to Turk. I don't want to sound salty, because I'm just happy to be learning and getting the good experience. And obviously, I wish I would have won, because now we are 0-3 on the season at a minus. I think we lost by 5. The first one was a 5-0. Second one was a 4-0, and then this one was a 2-0. So, I mean, we're down by like negative minus 11, 0-3, which is, or something like that, man. I don't feel like doing math, which is really depressing. I was hoping we'd have a little bit of a better season. Now, we do have our match against Caleb, the coach of the Kansas City Nidokings. I'm playing that game Sunday. I'm sorry if this video seems rushed at all. I don't think it does. I think it's nice. I hope I didn't mislead you with my happiness at the beginning, because I really am happy about how this game played out. I think I'm trying to take away positives. It is unfortunate how the end game went down, but I feel like I played very well. I feel like I understood the prep, and I managed the game very well. I did time management very well. It just did not shake out for us this time, which is unfortunate, but that's just the game we play. And hopefully hopefully it'll come back. You know, it always does. Everyone always says that you never remember the games you win by hacks. You only remember the games that you lose by hacks. So there's definitely games in the past where I've won because of favorable hacks or favorable misses or whatever you want to call it. But I think he really brought good prep. I know he's a good battler, and I'm hoping we can just grab a dub sometime soon. Now, there are some transactions that are going to be going down over week 4. I will approach those more, possibly in a separate video, more probably at the beginning of my week 5 video. But let's just say that unless Vikavolt has a big week next week, I don't know if he is going to put in any work on the team. So, unfortunate that he couldn't get his sweep this week, but hey, there's always the next one. That's the attitude we're having. There's always the next one. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and peace. I will see you. Bye.